What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're talking posters. There are so many posters released for Godzilla vs. Kong, and so many of them are just not very good, and I want to talk about it. Starting out, we saw a look at Godzilla vs. Kong's banner on an LA billboard, which is cool. It was cool to see the movie was getting wide mainstream advertising. Additionally, the MonsterVerse March banner was updated onto a YouTube channel for Warner Bros. Featuring Godzilla and Kong from King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. This led us into the Godzilla vs. Kong ad campaign, which featured a lot of real wild, very wacky posters. Starting out with these, these Korean photoshops. Who approved these? Kong and Godzilla standing there. Well, is that the arm of the Statue of Liberty floats in the water? Not to mention they just cropped these in from the posters. Next, we've got Godzilla and Kong fighting in some city. I don't know what city, but man, look at it. Oh, Kong is convincingly added into the background there. And then we've just got Kong's head looking mean and fierce outside the window there. I freaking love it. So goofy. There was some Chinese promotional art featuring the silhouettes of Godzilla and Kong, all orange. Very cool. Next, we had the Godzilla vs. Kong sketch posters. I think these were actually really cool. It's Godzilla and Kong with the red and the blue, and I don't know, it looks really neat. I like these two a lot. I think they go very well together. We had a Korean formats poster featuring all the different formats that Godzilla vs. Kong was going to be released in Korea. This is, of course, just like a screenshot from the movie with some stuff slapped on top of it. Next was the Dolby poster, which I actually like quite a bit. This is a really cool bird's eye view look at Godzilla here coming in on Kong. Very cool. I like this one a lot. I think this is a very cool poster. The Real D 3D poster was released, and it's not great. It's alright. I like it better than a lot of the posters. I think Godzilla's tail, the way it's into the water, looks really cool, but it's just Kong from the aircraft carrier again. But Godzilla looks cool. It's a really cool look at Godzilla, even though it does look very 2014. But this is a good one. I do like this one quite a bit. Next up was the IMAX poster, which was one of my favorites, actually. I thought it was very neat. I loved the way that Godzilla's upside down with the Hong Kong above, while Kong's in the hollow earth facing upright. It's more of Skull Island, though. You see the water, so it's more of a Skull Island-y spot, but still, it kind of gives that hollow earth effect of them roaring at each other. I thought this one was really neat. I'm a big fan of it. They released a wallpaper version of it as well. Then we've got the Korean poster, which will become one of the more widely used posters for Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't love this one either, just them standing kind of in this foggy, hazy Hong Kong. I don't love it. Then we got to look at the Chinese character posters, one for Godzilla in Hong Kong and one for Kong in the Hollow Earth. Both, I think, are very good. I particularly like that in the Hollow Earth you can see the Warbat flying around behind Kong, and you've got the purple floating gravity inversion rocks. This one is a great poster. You've also got that little crab monster down there. The only thing that looks weird is that it looks like the axe was photoshopped in by a fan. It does not look like he's supposed to be holding the axe. The Godzilla one is great as well. You can see some buildings from the movies, including that green building that he does his big roar off next to. That's a really great poster as well. I think the colors are fantastic. This looks like if this was the poster for a Godzilla solo movie, it would also be awesome. These were released with English titles for the Singapore posters, so we got a better look at those with the English titles there. They were also turned into banners, these Spanish banners, so Godzilla in Hong Kong and Kong in the Hollow Earth. The banners, I think, look great. I really like the banners as well. This leads us to what might be my favorite Godzilla vs. Kong poster, which is the Japanese poster. It's pretty classic. You've got all the characters down below. You've got Godzilla vs. Kong, and they're fighting. It's one of the only posters that features Kong on the left and Godzilla on the right, interestingly. I'm not sure why they did that, but I actually like it better. It's more representative of how they fight in Hong Kong in the movie. I love the color clash here, and I love that it looks like they're actually going to war with each other. This is a great poster. We've got these standoff posters, which are kind of like these Western standoffs with the hands of the gunslingers. These are really neat. You've got Godzilla's hand in the foreground, Kong in the background, and then Kong's hand in the foreground, Godzilla in the background. I think these ones are pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure that Kong in the background is from Kong Skull Island, not Godzilla vs. Kong. That Godzilla might be from King of the Monsters too. I kind of recognize that picture of him. Next up is the War at Sea poster. This one I think works better as a banner, as we'll talk about in a minute, but it's Godzilla and Kong fighting in the ocean while things are firing at them. They're kind of on the shoreline of what looks like Hong Kong. This is one of the few that favors the orange over the blue primarily. So we had this poster released. It was turned into a textless wallpaper for cell phones, and then finally we got the banner version of it, which is my favorite version of it. I think it works best as a banner. It gives a much better sense of epic scale. And finally we have what I believe eventually became the primary Godzilla vs. Kong poster. I remember seeing this one everywhere, and that is, of course, the underwater poster poster. This one is absurd. I remember looking at it and being like, well, surely that doesn't happen in the movie. And then it just straight up does happen in the movie. Very wild, very goofy. This is such a funny thing to put on a poster. I love the planes just crashing and burning in the water, the ships burning up above. That's a beautiful sunset up there. And then Godzilla and Kong just fighting in the ocean like it's no big deal. Kong, why do you not think it's a big deal? You're drowning. It's such a funny poster. It does look really cool. It is a very striking poster. It's one of the most unique posters we've gotten for a modern Godzilla movie, if not the most unique poster we've gotten for a modern Godzilla movie. And it reminds me a lot of the posters we got back in the day in like the 70s. I think it's very goofy and I love it. I might have to take it back. I believe this is my favorite Godzilla vs. Kong poster. The Stormy Showdown poster. Kong erupting out of this raging firestorm and Godzilla standing in this crazy ocean epic water. I love it. I love the blue. I love the red. I love the clash here. Again, you've got Kong on the left, which is pretty rare, and it looks awesome. This one's quite simple, just a versus poster with Godzilla and Kong's faces featured in the text. I think that one's very simple and very beautiful. That actually is probably what I would have used as the primary poster, at least up until the trailer came out. That's what I would have released pre-trailer. A Korean promo was released for Godzilla vs. Kong. This is one of my other favorite poster designs, featuring Godzilla and Kong fighting on the shoreline of Hong Kong. This was eventually released many times. It was turned into a wallpaper, which looks incredible, and a banner. This is a great poster. I love the colors. Weird that Godzilla's actually the orange one and Kong's the blue one on these posters, but still, I love it. I love the look of it. I thought this one was really cool. I turned this one into my computer background for a very long time. This was also turned into a motion banner, so you got to see it moving, you got to see the fireworks going off, and it looked cool. Finally, a lot of these posters were released as textless wallpapers, so I've got that link down below if you want some of these as phone wallpapers. You've got like the textless character posters and then the hand standing off in the city. And then finally, they released some breathing, I'll call them wallpapers, some breathing wallpapers for Godzilla vs. Kong. These were actually seen when they released the soundtrack pieces, so these were what they used to promote the soundtrack for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I thought these ones were also really cool. Alright, I think that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you for running through all of these with me. There's a lot of fun stuff here. I think these posters got really out of hand. I particularly love the underwater ones, and I loved those weird photoshops at the start. I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. They are keeping the channel running. Please consider supporting the Patreon down below, where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.